woodshed. It's a sight to be seen. Well, he's got kindling nighttime burn, 2 cords of the green. Well, people often ask him why he chose this game. Something about that power sock and the sand's running through my veins. Oh yeah, just the smell of the 2-stroke, baby. Yeah, yeah, all the way through my veins. Oh, chica. She's a pretty girl. Oh, chica. Look at her face when she does that with her face. And chica. She's pretty. Oh, chica. And chica's pretty. Friends, good morning. How are we all doing? Is everybody doing good? Because
Just temporary.
it is. My wife, she just says, this is temporary. This too shall pass. And it will.
Yeah.
The drifter.
Just gotta suck it up.
It's got to suck it up, Wendy says. My wife, friends, this is a long video. I'm going to tell you straight now, okay? This is a long video. I did a little question asking in the last video. I asked if people wanted some longer videos because they're sitting around. Listen, friends, nobody likes doing nothing. Well, maybe some people do. I don't know, but I don't. I don't like doing nothing, okay? My wife's painting the house right now. I'm doing stuff.
I'd like to do a little less.
Yeah, I mean, she
Nothing.
not just paint, like with this scenario going on in the world right now. She's got she's washing stuff. She's cleaning stuff, disinfecting. She's a goer. My wife. She's working like crazy. She's working harder than I am. Plain simple. She is. So, but here's the deal. Back to the channel and that and the content. Okay, I asked you folks if you wanted something longer because of. Here's the deal with this. This video is a story. It's a movie, okay? It's not one to really... It's up to you what you do with it. I can only make a suggestion. You can only lead the horse down to the creek for a drink. If you don't drink, that's not for you to worry about. You've produced the thing for them. So I've produced this for you. You can skip through to the trees going down and miss out on so much information because I explain a lot. There actually is more explanation on cutting and different things, but it's a long video. It is 59 minutes. It's probably going to be, it's an hour. This video is an hour. We talked about it. It seemed there was more of, like some people say, you'll never please everybody. I already know that. Knew that a long time ago before I even opened up the channel. Top of the morning to you. Right? So, this is a 1-hour video. And we're not even finished the job. It takes us through. This is a great video. If you've got time, which I think you do if you're stuck in your home. So, relax. We're used to skipping through videos and stuff. And I know it, but if you've had the time now to settle down and just grab a coffee, grab some snacks, turn on this video, stick your feet up in the air, and just watch it. Just watch it. It's an hour. It's an hour. And I like it. So I did this because of our worldly situation right now where lots of people are in the home. And there was a consensus that people were like, yes, give us longer videos. There was a couple ones where, no, split them up into 2, which makes more sense for me. Buckin, you're not doing that. You said an hour, leave it an hour. I'm going to stick it up. I mean, I could go part 1, part 2. I could easily do that. Maybe I will. But this thing is, I mean, what's the difference? It's an hour. Just watch half of it and go back and watch half later. It's 1 hour. And I'm excited about it. It's a great video, and there'll be part 2 coming up anyway. So, friends, this too shall pass. I am not in a hurry. I am at peace. That's it. back to the show. Hogan does really good here, friends. There's just some skanky stuff here, some dangerous stuff. I kind of walk us through some scenarios. I explain what I'm doing. It's not a good video to skip through. It just isn't. I'm not saying that for any other reason than the fact that it isn't. You'll miss dibs and bibs through the way there. You'll miss it. That's up to you, whatever you want to do. But what a better time to just pull back, relax, sit back, coffee up, nuts and bolts, sit back and watch a long video. Mr. Buck and Billy Ray and Ganji's cutting the tree. Over and out, friends. Drift on.
Good morning, friends. How are we doing? How's everybody doing today in our world, in our current world? How's everybody? I'll bet you're good. I'll bet you inside you're good, you're hopeful, and positive. I'll tell you, today's a special day, and when you're a weirdo, no matter what trade, no matter what your heart and your spirit is, and what you do for a living, or no matter what that is, if you're a nostalgic, old school weirdo like I am, today is an extremely special day for me. In more ways than one, but this right here, we have a job today. These have never been worn. They're brand new. They were in a shoe store in Nanaimo, my hometown. Those are strips of leather, by the way. These are handcrafted Pierre from Vancouver. Pierre Paris, Vancouver, BC. Okay, no speed lacing, straight up. This is a size 11. Okay, I'm not an 11. I'm a 10, but they're amazing. I'm just going to give it to you. I'm telling you right now, they're freaking amazing. Okay. I'm donning them today. We got an interesting job today down on the river. Look at that, friends. I mean, I'm stoked. I know this may sound really strange to somebody. Most people probably don't understand it, but I think in our trade, all of us, if we find something that goes back, these are vintage. They're vintage corks, old school corks. So what they are is they're an 11, but I'm a 10. Okay. So I've put some insoles in it and doubled up on the sock, and I'm rocking these today because we're on a timber falling job down on the river for a guy's building this house. So I'll bring you guys down there with us. It's a great job. Some interesting tree work there. It's fallen, but there's some interesting stuff. There's an alder, friends, like this. There's also an alder tree there. 2.5, 3 foot on the stump. Big. It's big, and that's because it's down on the river. That's what happens down there. So me and Ganges are heading down. But I'm going to wear these boots. This was the first time I wore these boots. I wasn't going to wear them. I thought, nah. And then I thought, no, that's silly. That's like that old home light power saw I got. That's never had gas and oil in it. Well, as soon as I get it, it does. It's just who I am. So this is going to be good. I'm excited about this. This is a special occasion job. So we'll gear up. We'll see you guys down there. And reset. I got one eye left. I just literally go around until I take up slack. 1, right? 2, and then 3, and now I do logger's knot. See? Like this. Yeah, I remember that from before, actually. These are waxy, boy. Landfill rat, thanks for the laces, bud. I don't care if they're too big, they gotta get out for a run. It's that simple. Can't have them like that. That's the one. Yeah, that's perfect. Actually, Sonny, go right there. at that woodshed back there to the left, because that we can creep up there and get it. Okay, friends, so here we are. There's the crookie over there. Crookie dookie. Yeah, we got ribbons on. So friends, yeah. Hogan's rambling off down there. We're in a real nice setting, friends. We're down on the Nanaimo River, okay? Our river's legendary. It just is. We all grew up there, whoever lived here. Here's a Lombardi that's going to be a problem at some point. They should think about doing something there because it's literally right on the house. I'll mention that to them. They love trees. Look at this cedar. Look at this freaking cedar holding up this bank. They backfilled right up to it at some point. It's probably 6 foot on the stump, goes up into a double twins school marm, codom for you arborist types, loggers, we call that school marm. Okay, it's a twin, and then it goes again. This is actually a monstrosity of a tree. It busts again off the side. Look at these cedars, friends. And you know the nice thing about this is, look at the lean. It's leaning totally away from the house. It's like no trouble to the home at all. There's big fir here, great big dirty fir. So here's the setting. And the river, of course, friends, is right there. But you get a floodplain in here.
Well, friends, how's everybody doing? You know, it's been a while since I've seen you. But again, when you're drifting, you know, this is how you tell true friends, is when you drift. You could not see somebody for a year, 2 years, 3 years, could be 6 years because of the drift. The funny thing is, friends, on this last drift I was on, we saw an alder tree that was, I gotta tell you, it was probably 3 foot at the stump. The sign of a true friend when you're drifting is when you see a fella, you haven't seen him for 5 years, and he comes right up and he gives you a holy smokes, where the hell have you been, drifter? None of this, hey, why haven't you called me, or what the hell's going on, like, don't you like me anymore type stuff. Unfortunately, friends, just one man's opinion, but that's not a true friend. Or if it is a true friend, he's got to straighten his act up. Because when you're drifting, that's what you are. You're a drifter. Accept me for who I am. I drift. If you don't like the drifter, drifter's okay with that. He'll just drift on to the next fella. Do you know what I'm saying, friends? So if you run into the drifter, just love the man for who he is, because you may not see him again for a long time. And just remember, friends, be kind today. Drift on like the leaves that are drifting by them cedar trees on that floodplain. Drift on.
Okay, this is the area we'll be building Dick and Marlene's home. We'll be cutting down those trees. There's the steps down to the field. And then there, on that tree there, you can see a white line. That's how high the house will be. And that brings us all the way over to the little shed we have.
Did anybody catch that? Floodplain?
You see?
It's a floodplain.
So this is where we're going to
Buckham.
be working. They're building a home down here. And what they're going to do is put their... I'm going to run the Super Pro 81 because we're into some cedar. It's big, but the old 81's got some jam. So we got some interesting scenarios down here I want to share with you, friends. And I may talk a little bit about it as I'm cutting it. But here's our gig. Look at that alder, friends. That freaking alder's 3 foot. Yeah, it does. We're running the dolly. Hogan's got the dolly. I'm coming down, boy. I'm gonna go around the woodshed here. So there's the farmer's field. That's Cedar Road's up top there. Comes through. I drive that road every day. So we are literally down on the river. And there was a couple of, I'll just explain this really quick and then we'll get cutting. We got a couple crazy issues. Sonny, I should have said, bring our gas and oil this way. I forgot. I'll get you to bring that gas and oil over here. So here's the deal. They're all quite big trees. You don't see alder that big very often, friends. You just don't see it. That's a 3 foot alder. That's 3 foot. Close to it, okay? The only tree here that's a bit sketchy, friends, is this cedar. Look at this old maple that busted down. Well, it's kind of looping.
If we leave this tree till last,
Yeah.
I was looking at it. It can go down there.
Well, that's where it's going, right there. I got to get it by the stairs, by there. So it is leaning up to the house.
Look at this thing.
You see, but it's healthy. So, and what I'll do is I'll make a high stump on it, friends, so that we get out of the notorious cedar rot. And look at this guy. I mean, look at this thing. Loopy doopy. Maybe Ganges can have a little go at something.
I enjoy it.
I'm trying to get Hogan on stumps as much as I can, friends, as much as I can.
Yeah, that'd be a good
Yeah, this one will,
once that alder's out of there.
yeah, oh, this will go first. We'll open up the bottom setting, but
So we're going to that yellow.
that's
tree
it.
up there?
That's it. So that alder's quite neat.
Yeah.
That's,
Where your bore cut comes in handy.
yeah, here's a couple problem areas. Excuse me. Oh, look at that sunbeam coming down over Hogan's shoulder. That looks neat. Ah, now he's right in it. You're right in the sunbeam, son.
Evangelical.
That's cool. Look at that. Anyway,
It's nice down
so 2 problem trees that I can see, maybe
That
3.
thing's uprooted.
This thing here's nuts. It's right nuts. And
there. Alder's a bit nuts.
and then there's this blow down here. So this is a floodplain, friends.
This is all. There's 10 feet of water here when it's raining.
There is 10. He said it was right up to the stairs.
Oh, I don't.
This is the area that we'll be building Dick and Marlene's home. We'll be cutting down those trees. There's the steps down to the field. And then there on that tree there you can see a white line. That's how high the house will be.
Son, stand by that alder. Look at the size of that alder tree. We used to get those down on the salt by the salt chuck. That's
Look
big
at that.
alder.
Like, I'm 4 foot wingspan at least.
Yeah. I might throw the Dolmar at that thing.
Yeah.
We'll see if well, the old Mac can handle it, no problem. But this thing's got a little issue. See, friends, it bent over that tree. Look, it hooked into this thing and bent it over. So we've got a bit of action here. I thought about running up and cracking that maple, but then I'm right underneath it. There's really no point to do that. Oh, that thing's freaking stressed right out. So this is our jackpot job right here. It would be easier to just stump jump this alder though, son, but it's still going to get hung up in there.
Yeah. If you cut those 2 maples down, but cutting up that maple's kind of sketchy because that alder's hanging.
You're
right
underneath it and you're up on a big, huge, it's just not
there. Yeah,
the prettiest
that's not
ordeal,
It's
but
probably safer just back.
we'll see. Talk to you in a minute.
Yeah, this should be an alright shot.
So we'll just get this thing down. I'll cut this thing off the stump and see where it settles and then just hack it out from there. That's the plan. I could smash it with something here too, probably.
Probably club it with a cedar.
This has been a problem lately. The short poles.
That's been a while since you run that.
Yeah.
Right over because this one grabbed it when it uprooted. Not the prettiest situation. Here, I'll back you guys up and I get the whole thing in frame. It's alright. about ready to break it loose. It's just about cut off.
That's in there solid.
Yeah.
Cut up.
Yeah, that's, he just said it's just about cut right off.
Okay, friends, the best way I know how to do this is a voiceover. Now, this stuff has been there. Don't ever, under any circumstances, go underneath the jackpot. This is what we call a jackpot. And some guys, I've done it myself through the years, have set ourselves up where you're trying to get a horrible situation down. You use other trees to bang other trees. I know a personal friend of mine I went to school with. He was a damn good faller. We used to joke. He came out of the bush every day looking like a Sears catalog. We don't know how he did it, but he did. He looked good doing it. But he is a good man. He's still a good friend. But he's in a wheelchair. And it was not pretty. So a vital man, like a big strapping, fighting, logging, snot slinging, just tough man, reduced to that, but grateful to be alive. Anyways, to this setup, this stuff has been here a long time. All the stresses are almost out of it. It's like it's been bent over and sit there like an old man crippled for a long time. Everything's cut up and it's not going, so I use this alder. I got to come back. Here's my bullet. Here we go.
Yeah. So all of this should come down. He's going to hammer it with one of those bigger alders. That was a lot of excitement.
I knew we'd end up in that big stump. There's no way around it.
Yeah.
But that was...
It was actually good that root ball kicked up.
Exactly.
And it helped it break off.
It did, didn't it?
Because once the root ball moved up, it just kind of snapped off.
That was my ticket, that big alder.
Yeah, that's what I kind of thought you were going to do.
Yeah. So I'll just shake this down.
So yeah, the sun's kind of up there.
Okay, so friends, this tree's gonna get a bore cut. It's on a 45-degree angle, as you can see behind me. It's a freaking big alder. It's kind of, if anywhere, this is where we on the West Coast have been trained to do bore cuts. This is where I was trained, where bore cuts save your can. There's all kinds of different ways to do it, but to be not so haywire, a bore cut is possible. You've also got the fear of the bore cut calving and twisting and pinching your saw. It's there. It's always there. Unless on your straight up and down trees. Straight up and down trees, there's no...
I don't get why you bore it anyways.
I know, but that's just the way they do it. We don't come from that school. This is where we incorporate bore. And that last one. That thing was hung in that freaking maple. Wow.
Pretty good.
Okay. So I'll bore cut it, son, and then you can show the cut.
Okay.
Pollen.
Yeah, no, I've been sneezing like mad lately.
So friends, I put a narrow undercut in it, and I slip in the bore cut, and I got a big, huge plate out the back, like a big piece of meat, and this thing's squeezing me in the bore cut. That's what I'm talking about right here. It's grabbing me.
Hard lean. As you can see.
So our next ordeal is this big alder. There's a plan, friends. There's like a, you go to the crappiest hole on the job. That's what I do. I go to the crappiest place when you start the day, you've got the most energy, you've got the most thought happening, brain power, physical strength. And if you start your day out on your knees, it's most apparent in your mind what the program is. So, the mess is down. That's why I choose to go to the crap instantly. And it just so happens that this, we had to anyway. This is where this is where the alder's leaning hard. Look at it, friends. This will be interesting, this. I might even bore this alder because you need power to eat up fiber. That's where the bore cut comes from. You need power. This thing's a big tree and it's leaning hard. So I may bore this, friends. Bore and release. like I say, these are all like that. Look at this. I might even get Hogan to try a bore cut today. We'll see. But this last big bore cut, it was pinching my saw. It was leaning so hard, and I didn't put a deep undercut in, friends. There it is, right there. That's it. You see? I cut that off after, but I mean, it's just contorted. You see? Good, buddy?
Yeah, did they want like the whole top processed out? Or?
No, they can drag that in.
Okay, cool.
As long as it's limbed and...
Yeah.
So that can stay because they can just literally grab that with a hoe and slide that off. There's no point in going up there.
And just munch it up. It's not good wood.
No, that's right. Don't let your pride get you, friends. Well, you know, I used to get in trouble because I wanted to do an extra good job on a side hill. I'd go down underneath stuff that probably I shouldn't be bucking, but I didn't want to hear from somebody, oh, why didn't you buck that? So I just was so concerned with doing a good job that I put myself in danger, if that makes sense to anybody.
A lot of oil.
Does it, it consumes, eh? Sure, good sounding, Powers. How's it cutting?
Good.
Good. Okay, good. So, because we're in such big wood, friends, I'm going to grab a different saw.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, the little 81 has got it, but we need cutting power here.
Let's take a run.
Actually, I think I will give that a run.
Yeah, I can grab you.
Would you mind grabbing me the sharpest thing up there?
Yeah. It should be good on gas.
Excuse me. Next victim, this alder. So that mess is down and out. Bore cut came in handy there, most definitely. That alder's getting cut up probably because it's leaning back, or I send it in up here, but I don't want to smash the outskirts, the sideline. So I may cut that alder up and hammer it with this thing. And I may bore this. I literally may bore this. He's building a house on stilts here, friends. Look at the size of this alder. This is the biggest alder I've seen in a long time. That's close to 3 foot, I'd reckon. Anyway, yeah, so that's the plan. I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna cut this sucker up. I'll put you guys in on the undercut and know that it's going out there, okay? That's the deal. I'm gonna run the dolly. I'm gonna run this Dalmar. See, she's got rot, friends, too, eh? So I'll come in somewhere underneath that scab there. See that? This is a nice saw. I got a feeling, son, we gotta bore this thing.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll start running away on me like mad. I could stand here and chase.
The ground is up there.
Oh, it's way out there.
Oh, we were running that crap red bar yesterday.
Yeah.
That stuff sucks.
Yeah, I mean, look at this thing, friends. So I'm going to go out and put a cut in this alder, set it up with a wedge, friends, because there's only one place that this alder's going, and it's right out in this opening. It'll probably smash this maple up here, which don't matter, but I may even just tip this alder over. I'll see. I'd rather keep it in the setting. So there it is there. So it will take this one. You see, it'll take it. There it is there. But this guy here, I may see what the lean's like. It's hard out, but I got a feeling I can set it up on a back cut. Look at the freaking lean on this thing. Yeah, look. So here's the stump. Look up. It's leaning back. We'll get it. Yeah, we'll get it. I'll set it up on a wedge, friends, I think.
she's over there. She's leaning out quite a bit.
It's leaning hard. So this thing is sitting back on that wedge like you wouldn't believe.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even think of hitting that wedge right now. Your axe would bounce right off it. But it is hard back. But we got that bullet. I want the stuff in the lay out here. That's why we're doing this.
I'll back her up here.
Yeah. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. What I could do for safety purposes, like there's no way this will go. Look at it. It's not gonna happen. So what you want to do, if you want, I almost just leave it now. You can back it up because we don't need no wedges back there. See, we're cut up, friends. This thing is cut up. I'm gonna put one underneath its lay.
Oh yeah.
See?
Yeah, that's sitting hard.
That's it. I can tell by the way the wedges fell. Look at it, friends. It's going right back there. But anyway, we'll hammer it now.
Yeah, okay.
Because I want it to stay on course, so that'll help push
I'll back
it
up
through.
behind this big one.
Or cut. Or
That's a big tree, yeah. The big alder.
I do want it to stay on
That
course.
thing's going. Again, it's leaning pretty heavily. Big alder.
I like it.
Pretty good,
Hey friends, back again. Listen, I do a little thing on this bore cut that actually I did in Indiana on some of the bigger wood there. I'm not used to not knowing where my back cut lines up. You can't have that here. It's got to line up, your back cut. Like I know sometimes with the shorter bars, you go in one side, you work a way around, but when you're boring, you got to leave that strap. Sometimes you kind of don't line up and it ends up all haywire. So I do a little something here. Maybe it can help you, maybe it doesn't help you, but I explain it anyways. So here comes my rambles. It sure helped me on a big bore cut many times. Over in Nata.
Okay, I want to talk about something. You see what I just did there, friends?
I'll have to bring him over.
I want to talk about this right now. I couldn't get through, right? I couldn't reach through with my bar because you can see it gets fatter there.
Yeah,
So what I did is I pushed my limits on the back strap. See that?
yeah.
So what I can do now is I can
Go in
literally-
there.
I can come in here
Okay.
to line up.
Yeah.
But there's a big enough strap if I leave enough wood that will hold it on there.
It might even pull that back strap right out.
It might, but at least I can line up my undercut
Yeah.
now. And I don't even have to. I can leave another post here. So what I'm going to do, show you.
Here, I'll go back over here now. Line up on the other side. Pretty alright shot. I don't know how it's still there. I felt that in the ground over here when
Come
it
up and
popped
show
off.
that stump.
I'll go limit out here.
So this is, yeah, good, Sonny. And just see up
Be
top.
careful under there,
Watch
yeah.
it. You got it rolling?
Nice.
Good. Thanks, buddy. Okay. So
How do you like this thing? Looked like it was moving pretty good.
I like that saw in the cut. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we haven't tuned it or nothing.
No.
We have not. That is a stock saw. It's running wonderful.
Stock saw with just a muffler.
Yeah. So here's our tree. No barber chair action. None. It's clean.
Pulled a little piece out the back there.
Nice piece of wood. I left a little post right there, as you can see. Look at that, friends. There's the hole for it. It'll be right in there. Good looking stump. And now, what I'm talking about is it actually passes. That stump, as far as BC forestry goes and compensation, the stump passes. It's not got some crazy snap cut looking thing on it. So this is a big tree. I like that Dalmar. And this is what this thing did. See this cut? This was from when I fell that tree. See that? This tree, I nipped the front of it, so I dropped down low and put my hinge in right there. See that, friends? That's why we got that. But I stuffed it right in the hole. With this thing here. See what happened? That just broke off there and left that piece. Isn't that interesting, friends? Look at that. So that just decided to leave that there because of that cut. That's very interesting. This worked out very nice. Beautiful hinge. Good. That was that first tree. Good. All right. Catch you on the next one. Woo! That's good. Nice job. I don't want him underneath that right there. I don't want him under there. That Dalmar cut's nice. A triplet of alders. And I'm going to get...
undercut like I taught him. That's good. I like it. Now stop for a sec. Just, this is for everybody. This is for everybody, not just you.
Okay.
Because see what he's got, friends, here? We're boring this now, and this is why.
It's leaning hard.
The freaking thing, it's going to blow up out the back. If he put the back in, that thing would take off and blow up right now. So we're going to bore it. But listen, you can screw your bore cut up instantly if
You go in on an angle.
If you go in on an angle and you come in here, friends, you're gonna, son, take a look on both sides of the tree. Here's a hint for everybody. Before you bore cut, take a look back there too. You got a divot in the tree that sinks in. Investigate your tree, friends. Look at, this is what I'm talking about in this scenario. See that divot?
On the back cut, yeah.
Yeah, you see that? So you got to come through on it. You're beautiful. It's in good shape, but come in behind and you want to come out here somewhere.
Okay.
So line up your bore and come in the easiest way it is. Might be tip in, kind of whatever, get comfortable on a bore. Maybe need to swap hands or something. And
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
yeah, it's a bore cut. It's not the end of the world.
This is my first bigger size bore cut.
Yeah, but
I've
this
done
is-
it a couple times on littler stuff. But
Yeah, and actually, son, you could, if you're more comfortable, bore from this side of the tree, but I don't recommend it.
I don't want to.
You're on the high side. Here he goes. Come here and have a look. Go around the back. So there you are. There's nothing wrong with that. You're a little low, but that's good because that divot could have got you. There's nothing wrong with that. Take a little bit up on the inside towards your undercut. Pull out. See, he gobbled up some wood. Did you see that, friends? That's it. He's done. Big bore cut. Okay, look at this. Look at this little pump. Look at this little punk. Nice job, kid. Okay, so very nice.
I know why everybody bore cuts now. Because you can make your hinge look awesome so you can take a picture after. Look at that.
You dirty
Set her right up and let her go on the back.
Where's your Dolmar cap? He's got, actually, friends, he's actually got his Dolmar cap. Listen, good job. I'm serious. That was nicely done. What you did do.
I came out the back.
Yes,
there.
you did. You on your first cut, but you had that plate back there, but you did. So, and that's
And there
the
was
fear.
one.
The fear
I
is
didn't want to start scarfing into that tree though, and I did a little bit.
I know, but here's the deal. That's why I stopped you before we, because I wanted to talk to everybody. I wasn't just talking to you. I was talking to everybody on a bore cut like this. It's important, friends, if you haven't done 5,000 of them like all the East Coasters, or you're a new guy making stumps.
You sure can make a nice looking stump doing a
Well,
bore cut.
that's why they do it. You can make a stump.
You have more control, I guess.
You're safe. This thing broke that piece of little pop and hinge wood over there. But the thing is, you got a great big long bar. You're nice and safe. You're back. That's another reason long bars are awesome.
Yeah, I was standing right here. I wasn't even.
But so your original cut, son, you did go back a bit far. Just a touch.
For sure.
Would have been nice to come in about maybe 2 inches towards the undercut, to the apex. Nice bloody job.
Thank you.
Yeah, very nice. Go bone that thing out, and we'll keep going. Very nice, son.
Cool.
Good bore cut.
I guess that thing's gonna end up somewhere over there.
Well, I'm putting this out into the field. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Very nice.
So friends, here's the deal. Listen, if you're a new tree guy, okay, Hogan has a kind of a, not a rare opportunity. Some people call it a rare opportunity, but the old school days of breaking guys in, I think is the best ever. It's the best. Now, I broke a faller in. We call him a skinny kid. He worked with me for 7 years doing tree work. I'm not popping out the third-handed hard hat where the hand dances out and pats myself on the back. That's not what this is right now. This is facts. And it's about a system that we used to have back in the day where you grabbed the gas and oil on your mentors or your guy breaking in. You grabbed his gas and oil and you walked around with him and you packed him and you catered to him and you banged wedges for him like Hogan's doing with me. Like Victor did some of that with me. The skinny kid was with me for 7 years. I was on a lot of falling jobs back in the day. He got broke in. I wouldn't say he got totally broken, but he got a hell of a lot of break-in. So he went to a course. The government put out 25 spots. This is a neat story. That's why I'm telling you this. The government put out 25 spots. Skinny kids got in on that. It costs $30,000 to be a faller here in BC. $30,000 if you want to go the BC way, okay? Who's got that? Nobody, okay? Maybe daddy can get it for you, but nobody's got it. Skinny kid got in on that. Guess what? Top of the class. Top of the class. Skinny kid, if you're watching, I love you, brother. And I know you're doing good because you told me, you said you're doing real well. I had fallers that I grown up with that phoned me. They phoned me and said, Buckin, nice job on the skinny kid. I almost get emotional talking about that because we're a proud bunch, friends. Us fallers are a proud bunch, and so are tree workers. We're different animals completely, tree workers and fallers, loggers. We're completely different animals, but we still do the same thing. We run power saws and trees. So I'll tell you something, skinny kid. So that system, I think, is on its way back in. They've been trying this certification thing for years, and it did help things out. It did. But, I mean, I think death tolls did go down. But anyways, my point of this whole ramble is that who gets like he just jumped right in there. So I like about Ganges. Say, hey, son, you want to do this? He goes, yeah, I want to try it. I'm going to get in there. I'm like, get in there. Get in there. You're only going to know what a tree does. That tree sat down on your saw in that undercut on the board, didn't it?
Yeah.
You started to pinch a bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
You got it. One more fiber or two. Guess what? You're going to grab another power saw.
Pinched, yeah.
You're calling your bullbucker or calling your guy to get you out. Your fallen partner, I mean. Okay, so good job. You know, I mean, I'm not...
First time I've bore cut a proper size tree. I've bore cut little backyard stuff like that. But
dude, that was a boring situation.
Yeah.
And you did well. So that's all I'm saying. If somebody asks you, if you're working with a guy and he says to you, get in there, don't say no. Get in there. If he's a good mentor, he'll be right on you.
And if the guy that you're working with and's teaching you tells you to go do something, he's not going to lead you. He's not going to send you in somewhere where he knows you can't do it.
We call it down the garden path.
Yeah, and he's there to, if you get stuck, you say, hey, what do I do?
Yeah.
He's there, so don't be...
Speaking of that, you know that battery pack in the pickup? Please?
All right.
I'm going to wait for you. You're going to do another one. See if you can get 2 in a row.
Okay, cool.
Because we're getting low on battery.
Yeah.
I'll shake one down. He's running now. I love this. I just love it. You can imagine my fear, though, when he came to me and said he wants to fall. It was not good. It was not good, especially my freaking history. Okay, enough ramble. all the limbs on one side, leaning hard. Here he goes, Mr. Borecut. Right on the money. Beautiful. A little bit. Good.
Actually took a while, but
No, that didn't take long at all.
it's just annoying cleaning out your Dutchman when you're up near
It's
your
very,
face.
yes, I know, it's very hard when you got your saw up like that.
Well, friends, yes, it's me again, the drifter. You know, in my time of drifting, you run into some pretty cool things. And we were drifting years ago down south end of Nanaimo. It's Cedar, they call it. The funny thing is, friends, on the drift, that particular drift, we were looking at some timber. Now, along my drifting days, I used to cut a bit of timber with a fella named Buck and Billy Ray. You may have heard of him. He's a nice fella, qualified man, working with his boy. You may know him. You see many strange things when you're a drifter. We were drifting just like that water you see drifting through that man's property. But I'm going to tell you something. In my time drifting, I've never seen an alder quite that big, friends. It's a big, big tree. You might need a pulling to cut her down when you're drifting.